What up, what up, what up? What's going on, guys? Man, let's just go ahead and call it what it is. If somebody would have told me this a long time ago, it really would have helped me. And you want to know why? Because, man, I literally was posting like every day, right? 3 times a day, right? Using all the trending sounds, um, you know, following the guru's advice, following all the TikTok wannabe fuckers' advice, following top affiliates, mimicking them, everything. And check it out, man. I was not making sales. And when this clicked, all right, I started pulling in 6 figures, right? And what is that click, right? Because when I first started out, I went through exactly what everybody else goes through. It's like you're in this lead hunting mode, right? Where you're just like, I need more views, give me more leads. So I got to go get it. So you first start mimicking other people. First you probably start doing what everybody tells you to do. Then you start mimicking all the top people, right? You even start behaving like the top people. Have you ever made a video and you looked at it and you were like, oh, this shit isn't me. I don't even know who this is on this camera, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like you realize you started playing some of your videos and you're like, yo, I sound just like so-and-so, right? You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, so I would mimic them. Then I went into this frenzy of let me try everything. How many of you guys felt like that where it's just like, let me try everything? I just want to try this. I'm going to try this hot sound because that's what it is. I don't have the right sounds. Oh, let me try the hashtags because you know what? That's what it is. I don't have the right hashtags. Or, man, you know what it is? I don't have the right hook. Let me go chase down these viral hooks, and then you chat GPT some shit. Chat GPT like, give me viral hooks, and it gives you like some of the like most virally used hooks that were repeated over and over and over for almost every industry. So when you use them, they sound vague as hell in your industry. And I know some of you guys are gonna be like, oh, I don't know what ChatGPT you're using, Justin, because I got mine set up perfectly. Yeah, I said that too. And you can still get your shit set up perfectly, but at the end of the day, that's not really what this video is all about. This video, what it's really all about is the fact is I didn't necessarily believe in my message. I didn't necessarily believe in my story. I didn't know how to tell my story. Everybody says, tell your story, tell your story, tell your story. I didn't know how to tell my story. Everybody was like, oh, Justin, you need to tell more people that you're a felon. Yes, cool. I respect the fact that I need to tell more people that I'm a felon and I've overcome some things in my life. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Just telling people that I'm a felon was not going to get people to sign up for my program or whatever I was selling to make money online in digital marketing. So it's like, even that wasn't right, like the best advice. I mean, it's good advice, but it's so bland. It's so general. Hey, tell your story. Where do I go with that? Right? What, like, you know what I mean? So a lot of times I was stuck and I was confused because I didn't know what part to tell my story, but I also didn't really believe in my own voice. I didn't find that my story was significant. I didn't know how to tell my story to build significance. And when I started to realize is that, check this out. Most people, okay, I came up with this, and tell me if this is not the fucking truth, right? I swear, I feel like somebody hit the camera or something. Tell me this isn't the truth. Nobody gives a shit about your solution until you have their attention. Now, remember, your product is the solution, right? That's the solution to their problems, is your product, right? But nobody gives a damn about your solution until you have their attention. Unless you get their attention, they're not going to care about your solution. So many of you guys, you're promoting your solution just like I was, or you're trying these trends to tell everybody about your solution, but you haven't made it aware that, or you haven't got these people's attention, or even possibly made it aware that they even have a problem, because they know they have a problem, but they're not made aware that I'm having a problem. Now, you're probably thinking that this video is more about I need to lead with problems and be more problem-based. No, in fact, what I teach is, one, You need to learn how to show up as a person that believes in what you're doing. Because here's the thing, nobody wants to give you money because they think their money looks better in your pockets. And I know some of you guys, you started digital marketing, you've been going along, you've been talking about your product, you haven't been seeing the sales. And so now you show up doing the work, but you don't even believe in what you're preaching. Have you ever thought about that? You ever thought about the fact that, like you've lost faith in your own product because you haven't made money? So you're like, hey, yeah, you could have this product and you could see $500 days, and then in the back of your mind, you're like, well, you motherfucker haven't seen no money. And you're like, yeah, I haven't seen no money. Right? And so you feel a little bit off by telling people, I've been sick lately, sorry. You feel off that you can tell people that they can make money when you haven't made money yet, right? So number one, you start losing your own voice. And because you tried so many different trends and so many different ways and listened to so many different people, you also lost your voice there, right? But then once you really lose, once you establish your belief again, then it's, how do I tell my story? How do I put my story out there in a way that is going to gather people's attention and connect? And the way that I've been teaching, especially when you don't have any sales, right? And you're in the make money online niche, is lead with your story and why you like your product. And what I mean by that is lead with why you like it. I'll give you examples of both really quick before we go. All right. So if it's your story, why did you get started? I'll give you an example, right? There was a guy that I said, why did you get started? And he said, because I'm going on in retirement and I'm not going to have enough for retirement. So I got to do something different. I said, all right. And then he started talking about, but I didn't want to go back to a job, right? And it's not because I'm lazy. It's because I was promised these golden years, right? And here I am in my golden year era, and I can't even live it because I'm worried about my finances. He goes, I don't want to go back to a job and work 8 hours. I definitely don't want to go to a part-time job and be locked down for 4 or 5 hours. I want to enjoy my retirement, but I want to be able to do something fun to bring some money in. And I was like, well, if that's your why, let's go with that. Because I want you to understand this, right? I could sit there and tell the whole world, oh, yeah, build your retirement. And people are going to say, yeah, I should be. Or I could say my why, right? I could say, man, I was promised these golden years and here I am living in my golden years, but damn it, I don't have enough money to settle out my retirement. So I knew I had to do something different, and I was not going to go back to a job, because let me tell you something. I want to enjoy some of my golden years. I just need a little extra income to live off of. So recently I came across this. See what I mean? Now you have somebody's attention, because people aren't actively scrolling on social media saying, man, I need to find a way to save for my retirement or to build my retirement. No, they're not. They might be thinking that, but they're not actively scrolling social media about it. So when you hit with your why, instant connection, right? I'll give you a second thing. What about your business? I had another lady, right? And this is like a perfect example. Hear me out really quick. So I said, why do you like your product? And she's promoting a company called SWC. And if anybody knows anything about SWC, it has 24 different ways to make money online, right? I said, let's take it back. I said, what do you like about SWC? She said, has 24 different ways to make money online. Great. See how that's surface level bullshit? Okay, cool. I said, why do you like it? She said, because it gives me options. We're still not there yet. You feel me? Like, people aren't scrolling social media saying, oh, let me look for some options, right? So we had to go deeper with her. So I said, okay, why does that matter to you? Why is that important to you? And she said, well, because one time I invested a lot of money into this mastermind with Amazon, and I put all this money up. I got involved and with this side hustle, and come to find out, I didn't even like it. She goes, if I would have had this program, I would have been able to try 24 different side hustles without spending that much money. And I could have seen which one I actually liked that I actually wanted to do. So she was like, I wish this business was around back then when I was making my decision. I said, there you go. I say, that's your TikTok. See, when people can get behind the why, that's the part of your story that people don't understand, that that's what you got to dig in and that's what you got to share. Because the next section after that is just learning how to put it in a hook. And you might try 3 different ways. You might say, you know, $1,000 freaking dollars. That's exactly what I spent on side hustles that I didn't even really like. That's one way you can start the thing. Or when I was wanting to make money on this app, I wanted to get behind a program that was actually going to give me multiple options to try to see what ways I can make money, because I've actually invested in a side hustle before. Come to find out, I didn't even like it. Oh my God, I would have saved so much time and, more importantly, so much money, right? Well, that would have been vice versa. I would have saved so much money and so much time. So that's one way. So you see what I'm saying? There's different hooks that you could use to tell that story. And that's the fun part, because now you're just playing around with the hooks to see which one catches. But what most people fail on is the information, okay? So let me tell you something. If you're posting every day and you're just hearing crickets, I got something for you. What I decided to do is get the 10K starter pack, all right? So, you know, type ready in the comments if you're just ready to take off with this. But click the link below to get your free 10K starter pack. And these are going to be tools that I wish I had when I was starting. Not your typical tools like Stan Store or right? Y'all got all that shit. I'm talking about the real tools that's going to help you break free from this. Step up into that person that you need to be. Believing in your product again. Knowing who you're talking to and how to actually talk to them, right? Because that is going to make the difference. You got the work ethic. You're posting 3 times a day. You got all the hot shit. You got the product and the mentorship and all that shit. So you got all that. Why aren't you making money yet? I promise you, I bet you can find it in that 10K starter pack. So go click the link below.